Hey folks, this is Grant Estrad over at Local Cooling Farms and Laughing Buddha Nursery. Part of the farm is that we have a composting operation as well. So a lot of people ask us composting questions, and it always turns into questions about getting your compost pile hot. And a lot of people ask what does that mean when your compost pile gets hot? Well, compost piles get very, very hot. And today we're going to show you an example of how hot the compost pile does get. We've got a pile outside, and we're going to put this ham and cheese sandwich in there, and we're going to toast it up in the compost pile. We're going to let it sit for about an hour, and then we're going to see if we've got nice melted cheese or not. So I'm just going to quickly assemble our ham and cheese sandwich. And we're doing this as proof that we are actually going to wrap a sandwich in the compost pile. So we are going to eat the sandwich because we don't believe in waste here at Local Cooling Farms. So we're going to wrap the sandwich in parchment paper to keep stuff out, followed by the aluminum foil. And once we're done here, we'll see you out at the compost pile. Folks, we're over by some compost right now. Now, what we have in these sacks is actually the material that we feed our red wiggler worms. We blend it, we screen it, we blend it, and then we let it go through the heat cycle, the thermophilic phase of the composting cycle. So right now it's in the hot cycle. We just mixed it, we just bagged it. Each one of these sacks has about 1.5 cubic yards in there. So it's not a huge pile, it's only 1.5 cubic yards. And so, we checked the temperature earlier this morning. We're right at a steady 140, 145 degrees. I'm gonna check the temperature on this one real quick, just to verify that. We got our little Rio Temp little mini thermometer here, and we're at 140 degrees. So we're good here. So again, we're demonstrating how hot it gets inside of the compost piles. That's why when you hear stories about compost piles catching on fire, spontaneous combustion, that is a real thing. So something to be concerned about. And even in small piles, if you mix it right with the right ingredients and the right moisture level, you can get thermophilic or hot composting with a small pile. So nobody gets confused about whose sandwich it is. I went ahead and I wrote my name on the sandwich like I'm a little kid in grammar school. So that's just fantastic. Okay, so we got our ham and cheese sandwich. I'm gonna go ahead and dig a hole in the center of this compost pile. And I can already feel the heat coming up. And again, this is the precursor to what we're gonna feed our worms. The final product out of this whole operation is gonna be worm castings. And so eventually, in several months, this material will have been fed to the worms. The worms would have eaten it, and they're gonna produce their worm castings. All right, I'm gonna check my temperature in here real quick, just to see where we're at. And she is smoking 120 degrees, 125 degrees is climbing, so we're good there. Oh, it's hot. I don't want to leave my hand in there. Bury my sandwich. All right, and we will come back in 1 hour, and we're gonna see if our cheese is melted on our ham and cheese sandwich. See you soon. Folks, it's Grant. We're back here over at the compost pile, and it is, the sandwich has been here for a little bit longer than an hour. We got caught up with a couple of things today. It's been there for 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 33 seconds. And so we're gonna see if, what our sandwich looks like, and see if I'm gonna have lunch. So we looked up the melting point of cheddar cheese, and the melting point of cheddar cheese is an average of 150 degrees. And we were at 140 when we put the thermometer in there, so I'm hoping that we got hot enough. And again, this compost bin it's only at 300 gallons. It's right at 1.5 cubic yards, so it's not a real big pile. But because of the ingredients that we put in and the way that we did it, we were able to get this small compost bin up to temperature. I don't want to rip the foil, so I gotta be a little careful here. Let's see. Oh, it's hot. Whew. All right, let's see what we have going on over here. All right, so we're gonna open the sandwich up here, see where we're at with the cheese. Some of you may be worried about the cleanliness of the compost pile. I'm not really worried about it. The ingredients in here, there's no manure ingredients in here. It's hardwood, pine bark, coffee grounds, and lime. So there's no real risk of a lot of nasty stuff that would come with a compost based on any kind of manure. All right, so we've got a little oil showing there. So we're gonna see, oh yeah, we've got a good solid melt out of the compost pile. The sandwich feels nice and warm. It's definitely a winner, and I would do it again. Everybody have a good day.